One short clip was all it took to throw Tesla's most ambitious project into question. A humanoid robot, a clean stage, cameras rolling, Optimus suddenly collapsing backward onto the floor. At first, it looked like just another harmless development mishap. Robots fall. That's expected. But people weren't focused on the fall. They were focused on the hands. As the robot went down, its arms flailed in a way that felt disturbingly human, not mechanical, not algorithmic, more like someone panicking, almost as if a real person, somewhere else, had just lost control. That's when the speculation exploded. The clip, filmed during a recent Optimus demonstration in Miami, spread fast online. Viewers replayed it frame by frame, and the more they watched, the stranger it looked. The movements resembled what happens when someone wearing a VR headset suddenly loses balance and instinctively tries to recover. Fingers flexing, arms jerking, a motion that didn't feel autonomous at all. Rumors quickly followed, with many suggesting the robot wasn't operating on its own, but instead being remotely controlled. And if that's true, it raises an uncomfortable question Tesla fans weren't prepared for, because this wasn't supposed to be a remotely operated machine. Elon Musk has repeatedly described Optimus as a future, where robots act independently in the real world, not guided, not puppeted, fully autonomous. So when viewers felt they might be watching human input disguised as independence, the disappointment hit harder than the fall itself. Scientific setbacks are normal. Nobody expects perfection. But what frustrates people most is the growing feeling that they may have been shown something that wasn't entirely what it appeared to be. And this matters far more than one viral clip. Humanoid robots have quietly become the most aggressive battleground in modern tech. Billions of dollars are pouring in, not just from Tesla, but from competitors racing to claim the future of labor, automation, and everyday life. Musk has gone as far as calling Optimus a potential trillion-dollar product, bigger than cars, bigger than energy, bigger than anything Tesla has ever done. Some investors believe this could redefine the global economy. Others believe it's dangerously overhyped. And right now, that divide has never felt wider. Part of the tension comes from fear. The idea of humanoid robots replacing humans isn't theoretical anymore. It's close, too close for comfort. Critics worry about mass job loss, rising inequality, and a future where machines quietly push people aside. Musk, on the other hand, has argued the opposite. He claims robots could eliminate poverty by handling labor entirely, freeing humans to live differently. It sounds hopeful. It also sounds unrealistic to many. And when Musk talks casually about deploying millions of humanoid robots, the optimism quickly turns into anxiety. But ethics aren't the only concern. There's a much more practical issue hiding underneath all the hype. Most humanoid robot demos today aren't what they seem across the industry. Many impressive demonstrations rely heavily on remote human control. That includes robots that walk smoothly, interact with people, or perform complex motions. This isn't necessarily deception. It's a standard part of development. Hardware often advances faster than software. But the problem arises when the line between testing and autonomy isn't clearly communicated. And once that trust starts to crack, even genuine progress gets questioned. Tesla found itself right in the middle of that storm after the Miami clip. Confusion spread fast about what version of Optimus people were actually seeing. Images of yellow and black robots with upgraded arms began circulating, with many assuming this was Optimus Gen 3, but Musk later clarified that those units were still Gen 2.5 testing models, some remotely operated, not the final version. That distinction matters because, according to Tesla's roadmap, Optimus Gen 3 is supposed to be something entirely different. This is where the story takes a turn. Musk has claimed that Optimus Gen 3 won't be an experimental prototype. It's meant to be the first truly finished humanoid robot designed for the real world, fully autonomous, self-learning, capable of performing thousands of open-ended tasks per day by observing and imitating humans. And the task Tesla keeps pointing to as proof isn't factory work, it's cooking. That might sound strange at first, but cooking is the one thing that can't be faked. Cooking isn't a scripted routine. It's chaos. Ingredients vary. Objects slip. Timing matters. A robot has to recognize food, handle fragile items, adjust force in real time, and react when something goes wrong. Even making eggs requires dozens of decisions humans don't think about. If a robot can cook reliably, it means it can exist in the human world. That's why Tesla keeps coming back to the kitchen. It's the ultimate test, and it all comes down to one brutal challenge. Musk has openly admitted that building a truly dexterous robotic hand is harder than building the Model X, harder than the Cybertruck, and harder than constructing a gig. Humans have more than 27 degrees of freedom in each hand, controlled by a tendon system refined over millions of years. That's why we can thread a needle, peel fruit, or play the piano. Most robots can walk. Some can jump. A few can run. Almost none can do something as simple as washing vegetables under running. This is where Musk believes competitors fall behind. Many humanoid robots look impressive on stage, but fail at the tasks people actually want help with. Tesla's approach focuses less on spectacle and more on usefulness. According to Musk, solving the hand problem unlocks everything else. And Tesla claims it's making progress faster than anyone realizes. But autonomy doesn't come from hardware alone. Behind Optimus is a massive AI training operation that most people barely talk about. Tesla recently received approval for a major expansion at Giga Texas, allowing its Cortex to data center to operate at up to 200 megawatts of power. That level of energy is reserved for serious AI workloads. This facility isn't about cars. It's about training robots, teaching them to see, move, and decide in real time using enormous amounts of data collected from Tesla's ecosystem. Some analysts believe this signals a quiet shift. Tesla isn't just an EV company anymore. It's positioning itself as an AI infrastructure giant, training physical intelligence at a scale few companies can afford. If that's true, Optimus isn't a side project. It's the core of Tesla's future. But power always brings responsibility as humanoid robots move into factories, warehouses, and eventually homes. One question refuses to go away. If a robot causes harm, who's accountable? The manufacturer? The software developer? The owner? No laws clearly define this yet. And as robots become more autonomous, that legal gray area only grows darker. So where does that leave Optimus? Right now, Tesla stands at a crossroads. Optimus could become the most important product the company has ever built. Or it could become the moment where hype outran reality. The Miami clip didn't prove anything on its own, but it reminded the world how closely people are watching. How little margin for error exists when expectations reach this level, and the next version of Optimus won't just be judged on what it can do, it'll be judged on whether people still believe what they're being shown. Belief is everything at this stage. Not just belief from fans or viewers online, but belief from investors, regulators, and industries quietly preparing for a world where humanoid robots are no longer experimental novelties. That's why what happens next matters more than any demo Tesla has released so far. Because once Optimus leaves controlled environments and enters factories at scale, there's no room for ambiguity. Either it works on its own, or it DOESN. Tesla has already hinted that thousands of Optimus units could be deployed internally before any widespread consumer release. That's a strategic move. Factories offer structured environments, repeatable tasks, and constant data feedback. Every step Optimus takes, every object it touches, every mistake it makes becomes training material. And unlike most robotics companies, Tesla doesn't treat each robot as an isolated machine. What one robot learns can instantly be shared with others. Mapping, obstacle avoidance, object recognition, even subtle balance corrections can propagate across the entire fleet. That's how learning accelerates. This is also why recent footage of Optimus walking confidently through busy spaces raised eyebrows in Tesla's latest updates. The robot is seen navigating factory floors, interacting with people, carrying items, and even serving drinks at crowded events. It no longer moves like a fragile prototype. Its steps look deliberate, its posture more balanced. It pauses when people cross its path and adjusts when obstacles appear. And if you look closely, you can see something familiar. The way it processes its surroundings mirrors how Tesla vehicles interpret the road. Objects get identified, paths are predicted, risks are avoided. The same philosophy, just transferred into a human-shaped machine. That connection is crucial. Unlike competitors starting from scratch, Tesla already has years of real-world perception data: roads, factories, parking lots, unpredictable human behavior. This gives Optimus a massive advantage in understanding how humans move and how environments change. And once one robot learns a space, others can follow seamlessly. The vision, a shared intelligence that improves continuously, without needing to be retrained from the ground up every time. But this is where skepticism creeps back in, because impressive movement doesn't automatically mean full autonomy. Still, Tesla continues to push forward. Internal timelines suggest limited customer availability could begin as early as 2026, with pricing far higher than early estimates. Once true autonomy and extended battery life are factored in, that alone could determine whether Optimus becomes a mass-market product or a premium tool reserved for corporations and high-income households. The idea that every human could own one sounds exciting, but reality may look very different, at least in the beginning. So when you look back at that Miami clip, it starts to feel less like a scandal and more like a warning. Not that Optimus has failed, but that the world may be rushing to believe it's already finished. The fall didn't expose weakness in the robot. It exposed how fragile trust becomes when expectations outpace transparency. And in a race this big, perception can move faster than progress. The next version of Optimus won't just need to walk better, speak smoother, or lift more weight. It will need to prove, without question, that it's acting on its own. Because once people stop questioning whether a robot is autonomous, that's when the real revolution begins. And Tesla knows it only gets one chance to get that moment right, because once that moment arrives, there's no turning back. The shift from machines that assist humans to machines that operate beside them changes everything: workplaces, homes, entire economic models. And that's why the pressure on Tesla right now is unlike anything the company has faced before. Cars can be recalled, software can be patched, but a humanoid robot that fails publicly doesn't just hurt a product line, it shakes confidence in the entire idea. That's also why Tesla has been unusually quiet about exact benchmarks. No flashy countdown. No definitive, "this is the day Optimus becomes autonomous" announcement. Instead, updates come in fragments. A new walking clip here, a voice interaction there, a brief comment about battery life or dexterity dropped casually on social media. Some see this as secrecy. Others see it as caution. Because when expectations reach this level, every word matters. Behind the scenes, the real battle isn't happening on stages or at events. It's happening in training loops. Millions of simulated scenarios, countless real-world edge cases, robots learning what not to do just as much as what to do. Dropping objects, misjudging distances, losing balance, then correcting over and over again. This part is slow, unexciting, and invisible to the public. But it's the only path to real autonomy. And that's what makes the conversation around Optimus so polarized. Some people see the flaws and assume failure is inevitable. They point to past tech promises that arrive late or never fully delivered. Others see the same flaws as proof that progress is real, because imperfect systems mean development is still happening. The truth likely sits somewhere in between. Optimus isn't fake, but it's not finished either. And that gray area is uncomfortable for people who want certainty. What's undeniable is that Tesla is committing resources at a scale few companies are willing to risk: infrastructure, energy, talent, time. This isn't a side experiment meant to impress investors for a quarter or two. It's a long-term bet that physical AI will matter as much as digital AI, maybe more. And if that bet pays off, it could redefine how value is created in the modern world. But if it doesn't, the fallout would be just as historic. That's why skepticism is healthy. Questioning demos is healthy. Demanding clarity is healthy. Blind belief is what turns ambition into disappointment. And Tesla knows that the audience watching Optimus isn't just made up of fans. It's made up of competitors, governments, labor groups, and industries deciding whether to resist this future or prepare for it. So the real question isn't whether Optimus can walk, talk, or cook someday. The real question is whether society is ready to accept a machine that can, because once that line is crossed, the debate won't be about robot falls or hand movements anymore. It'll be about coexistence. And by then, it won't matter who was first. It'll only matter who is ready. And readiness isn't just a technical milestone, it's a psychological one. Humans have spent decades interacting with machines that stay in their lane. Phones stay on screens, cars stay on roads, industrial robots stay behind fences. Optimus breaks that pattern completely. It looks like us, moves through our spaces, uses our tools. And the moment it does those things without supervision, the relationship between humans and machines changes permanently. That's why even small details get magnified. A hesitation before answering a question, a delayed response, a stumble that looks just a little too human. People aren't just analyzing performance anymore. They're searching for signs, signs of independence, signs of awareness, or signs that the illusion is stronger than the reality. And in a project this visible, perception can move markets faster than facts. It also explains why Tesla keeps emphasizing learning over programming. Optimus isn't being hard-coded for every task. It's being trained. Shown what humans do, then expected to generalize. That approach is powerful, but it's also unpredictable. Learned behavior can surprise even its creators, sometimes in impressive ways, sometimes in uncomfortable ones. That's the trade-off Tesla has accepted, and it's the same trade-off powering modern AI breakthroughs across the tech world. But physical intelligence raises the stakes. A language model making a mistake is annoying. A humanoid robot making a mistake can be dangerous. That's why safety layers, constraints, and gradual rollout matter more here than in almost any other AI application. And it's why Tesla's cautious pacing may actually be a sign of maturity, not weakness. Rushing this would be reckless. Waiting too long could mean losing the lead. Somewhere between those extremes is the path Tesla is trying to walk. So when critics point to that Miami fall as proof that Optimus isn't ready, they're probably right. It isn't. But when others claim it proves Optimus's smoke and mirrors, that's likely wrong too. What that clip really showed was a moment in the middle, a project still in motion, still vulnerable, still evolving under an enormous spotlight. And that spotlight isn't going away. Every new update will be dissected. Every demo slowed down. Every claim challenged. Not because people want Optimus to fail, but because the implications of it succeeding are enormous. This isn't just another gadget launch. It's a test run for a future humans have imagined for generations, but never truly confronted. The quiet truth is that Optimus doesn't need to be perfect to change everything. It just needs to be useful enough, reliable enough, safe enough. Once that threshold is crossed, adoption won't happen overnight, but it will be unstoppable. Factories will follow. Warehouses will follow. Homes will eventually follow. And by the time the debate settles, the world may already look different. So the next time you see an Optimus clip online, whether it's walking smoothly or stumbling awkwardly, remember what you're really watching. Not a finished product, not a failure, but a preview of a transition that hasn't fully arrived yet. And when it does, it won't announce itself with a dramatic moment. It'll happen quietly, one task at a time. And that quiet arrival may be the most unsettling part of all. There won't be a single headline declaring that humanoid robots have officially arrived. No countdown, no clear finish line. One day, they'll simply be there, doing work that used to require a person, and doing it well enough that no one questions it anymore. That's how real technological shifts happen. Slowly at first, then all at once. What makes Optimus different from past attempts is that it isn't being built for a narrow role. It's not designed to do one job in one environment. It's being trained to adapt, to generalize, to move from factories to stores, from warehouses to kitchens, without needing to be completely redesigned each time. That's an enormous ambition, and it's why